play like we play. We be us. We be special. We smell greatness. We finish strong. From the top.
N Caz, football focus show, where the focus is, as always, football. NFL, football, yeah. All right, well, what I'm gonna start doing, I'm gonna start giving America the updates on our records. Mr. Undefeated here went 10-6. He did good because next week, something special for y'all. Next week, I'm gonna tally up all of our whole records since it's the last week of the season. Unfortunately, yeah, I gotta wipe a tear. Yeah. But you know, playoffs next week. But I'm gonna do a record. I'm gonna do our whole record, like how we did through the whole year, and tally it up, and you know what I'm saying. See, I looked through it. You had a couple of good games, a couple of good weeks though.
But you know what though? I'm gonna be honest.
I went 12-4.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. A lot of those picks. Let's go over the week in review. The weeks in review. I made some real good picks.
Nah, you did. Nah, I gotta give you credit. There was a couple of upsets you picked, a couple of nice ones. Yeah, you had some good ones. Like I said, I go with the favorite. You go with the underdog. Yeah. So I mean, you know, that's a fair balance.
Actually, but we should go to Vegas.
We should.
Let's go right now.
But yeah, so I went 12-4. He went 10-6. So like I said, we got one. This is our last week. 2 games over 500. 2 games. Yeah.
I make the playoffs with that.
That's true.
Depending on what
if you're in the AFC, if you're in the AFC West, you're good. But so I said,
I get a first round bye with that. And some fries in the drink.
Yeah, for sure. And you might be able to super side.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, man. Okay. So anyway, we talk about the Saints win.
Yeah.
Good win.
Very. It was good. It was another statement game, but I do not like the fact that you got how many minutes was left on the clock?
Got like 7 minutes.
No more. No, that 4th and 1 call. Where they
punted the ball. Yeah.
That was what, like a minute and a half left or something like that?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I think they should have went. I think they should have went for it. I really do, because you want to keep their offense off the clock, and I'm pretty sure that there was some play that you came on. I like the fact that y'all wanted to try to draw the defense
right, because they said on the broadcast that Drew Brees has the best ball counts. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because he done it. You remember he done it a couple of times.
He did.
But see, you know what though? See, I can counteract you. You know what I'm saying? I think the main reason why they didn't go for it was because, okay, say you don't make it, right? You give them a short field, with them being down by 7.
Right.
So that's the only thing. And then they had the momentum too.
Not only that, but I counter your counter. Okay, you give them a short field. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Or no, I'm gonna parry your counter. You give them the short field.
Yeah.
Say like they go ahead and do the go-ahead score. The Saints still got a minute to march down the field and at least kick a field goal.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, that's true.
There's so many different ways you could have won with it, but a win is a win is a win. They beat the Cowboys.
They beat the Cowboys, which is always a good thing in our neighborhood.
Exactly.
And you know, another thing I had to say too is, like I've been saying all year, like both have been saying all year, like if Sean Payton was there, what would he have done?
There's always that whatever, bro.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like what, you know, and like I said, you know, we might talk about this next week, but if you look at all the games, you know, like I said, they played 16 games. They played 15 games. They 7 and 8. They 7 and 8. They played 15 games. A lot of games, the offense was sputtered out the gates. You know what I'm saying? Or some kind of way the offense had a low. Yeah. If you look at it, you know, our true Saints fans, you look at it and see if Sean Payton was there. You know what I'm saying? Like when Drew Brees was in his funk with the Atlanta game. You know what I'm saying? With the 5 picks. Sean Payton would have drawn the reins back. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You know, it's just so many, and that's the difference of coaching. Like I said, you know, if we beat the Carolina Panthers, we're gonna be 500, and that's all. Yeah, we just want to get this bad season behind us. But you know, it's always we got to say that what if. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but see, in that Atlanta game, you know, I wouldn't have been surprised if Sean Payton would have pulled Drew.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if Sean Payton would have pulled Drew. I know if I was the head coach.
Yeah, you said you would.
I would have pulled him after the fourth. I'd have pulled him after the third one.
Yeah.
I would have pulled him. You know what I'm saying? I really would have. And just have him sit down for at least a series just to humble him a little bit.
Right.
Yeah, hey, look, there's no, like I said, you know, there's no court. I don't care what Chase Daniels would have did. There's no quarterback controversy.
Right. Drew Brees is
You know what I'm saying?
He's $100 million guy.
Yeah,
And like I said, I just think that, you know, that had a lot to do with it too. He didn't, you know, I mean, it was just, this has just been a rough year for the Saints overall. That's why I'm glad when they played at Carolina. I think they're going to beat Carolina. Obviously, I'm picking them. You picking them too.
We got to find out. We're going to find out what's Drew Brees' yardage right now. Because he threw for how many yards yesterday? I mean, last Sunday?
He threw for four, something like that.
So he's at 5,000 again.
He's at 4,500. He's at a high. He is the first quarterback to throw for 4,500 yards in 3 consecutive years. But you heard about the Pro Bowl, right?
I heard.
Only 2 people from the Saints team. Now, I don't expect nobody from the defense to make the damn team.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But, you know, they said that Curtis Lawton had 147 tackles, you know, had a couple of sacks and pass defense and all that stuff. But nobody but Jerry Evans and Thomas Morstead made the Pro Bowl. You know, so that's another kind of, and you know, and the thing is, I looked at it, and I was like, they said that the first thing the article said was Drew Brees led the league, and he's leading the league in touchdown passes and yardage. Touchdown passes and yardage. I don't think he's leading in percentage because he had a couple bad games, but don't you need yardage and touchdown passes to win?
Yeah.
Or I mean, you know, like obviously
more or less a touchdown passes.
Exactly. You know, so he's leading the league in that, and they got Matt Ryan. He's not starting. Matt Ryan, Aaron Rodgers, and
RG3.
Yeah.
Please don't tell me RG3 is going to start.
No, RG3 is second. Yeah.
He's second?
He's second. Yeah. Like how they had on NFL Network, they had Aaron Rodgers starting, RG3, then Matt Ryan. But see, to be honest with you, one of those dudes are not going, you know, I hate to say it, but if Atlanta, you know, makes a Super Bowl, you know, they're probably going to throw Brees in there. Really, if I was Brees, I wouldn't even go.
I wouldn't even go.
Yeah, I wouldn't even go. You know, just like, you know, just a lot of people said that Colston deserved to be in the Pro Bowl. I know you. I agree, but I don't. Yeah, Colston needs to sit his ass down. Period. Just the type of season he had. He needs to sit his ass. I mean, come on, man. He had 1,000 yards every year.
You say Colston deserved to go, then Pierre Thomas deserved to go.
I agree with
Jimmy
that.
Graham.
But
not even
Jimmy Graham had a down year. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, but, you know, it is what it is. That, you know, Saints used to be in snub. The Texans and the
Kansas City Chiefs.
49ers had the most players voted to the Pro Bowl.
Kansas City got 9.
Kansas City got 9 players in the Pro Bowl?
Yeah. Look it up. Nah, look it up. Kansas City got a bunch of guys going to the Pro Bowl.
Like who?
Defense. Don't know how. Defense. Maybe offense. You know what I'm saying? I know the 49ers, basically the whole 49ers team, defensive side is going to the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, Patrick Willis, Bowman, Aldon, you know. And they deserve to go because these some heavy hitters.
Yeah.
You know, there's some heavy hitters.
Yeah.
So, you know, but like I said, nonetheless, you know, we playing Carolina and, you know, we got to finish off the game strong, but man, I just cannot help but feeling like this brings me back to the 1990s, specifically 1991, 92. You know what I'm saying? No matter of fact, 88, 89. You know what I'm saying? When we had a real good team, just couldn't seal the deal. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It just really kind of like, really puts a damp on things. Or even the 2003, 2004 season, you know, where we started off 6-1, I think it was.
Oh, yeah.
And we went.
Lost their last 4 or something like that.
We lost more than that.
I thought they lost. They had a chance and they lost the last couple of games.
We were 6-1 coming out the gate, then finished 9-7.
I remember that game.
So you know, and
that's when supposedly Joe Holmes was speaking with Willie Rowe.
And we lost by 1 point to the Jacksonville Jaguars because the kicker missed the extra point. So you know, it brings all those bad feelings back. But you know what? Like I said, I mean, Saints fans do have a reason to keep their head high. As long as we got Drew Brees, as long as he keep him healthy and upright, you know, I'm going to be very interested to see what happens in the offseason. Because I got it from a reliable source, though, that Pierre Thomas might not be a Saint next year. You know, might not be a Saint next year. And that scared is living crap out there.
That would scare me because that's my tears from the season being. Yeah. But anyway, like I said, it was a good win. I hated that they gave up the 14 points. They was up 31-17. I hated they gave up the 14 points at the end of the game. But like I said, it is what it is. NFL. Dallas is a good team. I don't want to take nothing away from it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Dallas is a good team. The defense stepped up when they needed to get a stop. You know, and like I said, the only thing I can say is that the defense is going to get better.
They have to.
They're going to get better. You know, and then this is this crazy stat. If they give up 270 yards against the Carolina Panthers, they're going to give up the most yardage in NFL history. Now counter that. Now counter that. Well, what was their record last year? Didn't they have the most yardage ever last year? 7,414 yards.
7,000. That, and like I said, I mean, we broke the record for most points for any franchise.
Right. So we're going to do the complete opposite this year and give up the most points. Give up the most yardage.
That's odd, man.
I know. I don't think that's ever happened. Ever. Nah. You know what I'm saying?
But we still won the record books. That's another record broken.
Yes. Anyway. All right. So it's kind of bittersweet for us. So this is the last week of the season. So you ready to pick these games?
Yeah. But also, let me say, I think Drew gonna break 5,000 yards again. Again, I think so. If he got 46. You got 4,600 yards?
I think
47?
46. I'll look it up. I'll look it up. I'll let y'all know next week.
I'm gonna go. If he's 300 yards shy of hitting 5,000 yards again, he's gonna hit. I think he's gonna pass for another 5. I think he's gonna have another 5,000 yards season, which is unprecedented in the NFL. There's never been a quarterback to throw for 5,000 yards
3 times.
3 times in their career.
Right.
Let alone,
Right, so we got up first, speaking of the devil, we got New Orleans versus Carolina.
You already know home already.
All right, we got Baltimore and Cincinnati. Very intriguing game. Baltimore got off the snide last week, and now they clinched their division. Pittsburgh lost. So they're out of the playoffs. So Cincinnati is now the 6th seed. So who you going? I'm going with Baltimore.
Yeah, I'm going with Baltimore too. I bet against them last week, and that was my undoing.
Very, very vital. The Jets versus Buffalo. I think Tebow's supposed to be starting.
Really?
Yeah, because McElroy got a concussion. I don't know if Tebow did it, but I'm going with Buffalo.
All right. Okay. I'm going with Buffalo. You know what? No.
Jets?
Yeah, put me down for the Jets again. Tebow magic.
Whatever that means. All right, I got Houston versus Indy. You going with Indy?
Yes, Indy.
I'm going with Indy too.
Indy.
No, you know what?
You going Houston?
I'm gonna go with Houston. I think that Houston is in a tough spot right now because a lot of people are picking them to lose. You know, if they lose, Houston has a lot at stake.
They do.
This coming Sunday.
They do.
So they need to win, and this is to show their mettle, test their mettle as a team. And if they lose, then they might as well just pack up. They're gonna have one game in the dome at Reliant, and then they're just gonna go home because they're not going no further.
Right,
so
true.
I think that they're gonna step up, and I think they're gonna win. And I think they'll have the #1 seed.
Even if they do win, I still think they're going home.
Well, that's a possibility too. Depends on who they play, but
they might play Indy again.
Wow. Yeah, that's true too. All right, so you gonna end up going with All right, you got Tampa Bay versus Atlanta. I'm going with Atlanta. They're gonna finish off 14-2.
I'm going with Tampa.
Atlanta look good.
They do, but
I want Atlanta to they clinched home field.
Yeah.
I want them to have a good record, so their fall is gonna be so high. I just can't wait.
They went 14-2 before having it.
Yeah.
And they lost.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah. You know what though? I think Atlanta might run the table, man. I think they're gonna rest their starters. But that's really
they should.
I mean, that really is real. I mean, they already clinched home field. They already got first round bye, so. You know, they got home field throughout the playoffs, so there's really nothing to play for in this game. So that's why I give it to Tampa.
Okay.
You know,
but
we'll see.
All right, we got Philly versus the Giants. It's going to be a big game for the Giants.
Now, if the Giants win, they in, right?
Well, they need Minnesota and they need Chicago to lose.
And they play each other?
No, Minnesota plays. Well, we'll get to that.
Okay.
Minnesota plays Green Bay, and Chicago plays. Chicago plays Detroit.
Ooh, okay, all right.
So you know what I'm saying. So anyway, matter of fact, we can add Chicago versus Detroit. Where you going with?
I'm gonna pick Detroit one more time. One more time.
Sticking with him.
Yeah, man, I love Megatron. The mighty Megatron.
Yeah, he's a beast. I'm going with Chicago. I have my reasons. Yeah, hopefully Forte plays and everything be right with him. All right, Miami versus New England.
I'm gonna give it to New England.
New England, because they gonna probably they fighting for that. They fighting for that season.
Even their backups will probably come in and win the game. That's how mentally prepared they are. Man.
Right,
I'll give it to them.
Right. And this game should have been last, but you know they moved it up. But Dallas, this is a Sunday night game. Dallas versus Washington.
They go 10-6. They go 10-6 and win that damn division. And shout out to Izzy.
I'm gonna send you your money.
You got us this time. Well, you got him. I didn't take the bet.
Yeah.
I didn't take the bet.
You wanted to.
It was tempting.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna go with Washington. They just hot right now.
Yeah.
They won 5 straight games.
Yeah.
RG3. I mean, they're in Washington.
Just loving on RG3, man. I'm so glad that he's having the type of season that he's having.
Yeah, me too.
I just hope next year that he doesn't catch the sophomore slump like Cam did.
Yeah, definitely. Cleveland versus Pittsburgh. I'm going with Pitt. They gonna come out angry after winning losing 2 straight games. They gonna come out angry and finish off the season. Like they and that's a shocking thing too about the season, how crazy the season is, because they gonna wind up, if they win, they'll probably be 8-8. It's like the Saints 8-8. It's 2 teams that made the playoffs and had Super Bowl aspirations. You know what I'm saying? And just right at 500. It's just, you know, the Saints are not the only team that had a bad season. You know what I'm saying? Injury bug kind of hit everybody.
With a championship caliber team.
Yeah, definitely. All right, we got Jacksonville versus Tennessee.
The dumpster fire.
Yeah.
I'm going with Jacksonville. I'm going with Jacksonville. Yeah, I'm going with Jacksonville.
I'm gonna go with Tennessee.
This is a gimme game. Yeah, man, that's a gimme game right
there. I mean, you just don't know. Tennessee got beat by 40 points last week by Green Bay. I mean, Green Bay versus Minnesota.
Minnesota.
You pulling
Minnesota and Adrian Peterson gets close
to the record. We don't do it.
I think he's gonna be 10 yards shy.
All right. Well, I'm going with Green Bay. I'm gonna go with Green Bay on that one because they want to go in because they need to win to have the second seed. You know what I'm saying? Because the 49ers lose and all that stuff.
All right. Well, let me ask you a question then. I'll make a deal with you. If Minnesota loses the game but Adrian Peterson breaks the record, can I still get a point?
No.
I tried.
All right, we got Arizona versus San Francisco.
San Fran. Yeah. Colin Kaepernick redeemed himself.
Yeah, big time.
Big time.
Yeah. Did you have him start? I did. Kansas City versus Denver. I'm going with
Denver.
Yeah,
hands down.
Denver. You know, I think Denver's gonna lock up the 3 seed, so they're gonna have to play in the first week.
That's fine.
But
they still gotta go there. Yeah, so Cincinnati gotta go to Mile High. That's gonna be rough.
Yeah. Oakland versus San Diego.
Oakland.
Oh, you going Oakland? Okay, all right. I'm trying to shoot it up a little bit.
Is Carson Palmer playing?
No.
Who's playing quarterback?
I think either Liner or they giving Pryor some.
Okay, put me down for San Diego. I'm sorry. Put me down for San Diego.
I figured you would change your mind. All right, last game of the season.
Seattle.
Whew, Seattle.
And Rookie of the Year, Russell Wilson. I did some more research and got to talk to a reliable source. And he reliable source. Can't even reveal my sources. But he explained to me why RG3 should win the Rookie of the Year. And he said that because RG3 was Russell Wilson was a 3rd round draft pick. He wasn't expected to do anything his first year. He was expected to ride the pine and watch.
Yeah, but my man Flynn.
Yeah, watch the son of Flynn play. You know what I'm saying? Play quarterback.
Right.
But this guy came in, right, with his work ethic alone and 5'10" stature, beat out a guy that's been in the league 3-4 years. Yeah. And not only did he beat him out, I can guarantee you that Flynn gonna get cut next year.
Yeah, he gonna be a cat.
And not only that, but that boy boy got 26 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And 5 interceptions.
Yeah. Yeah. And he plays great at home.
Efficient.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's something that elite quarterbacks have. Now, I'm not calling Russell Wilson an elite quarterback yet, but his efficiency dictates.
And he's only going to get better.
Oh, that's the scary thing.
Yeah, he's only going to get
And
better.
not only that, he's a black dude.
Yeah. And then not only that, Drew Brees is his idol. And he looks up to Drew Brees. You know what I'm saying? So
Sky's the limit.
Yeah, sky's the limit for him. That's why I like him.
Yeah.
Like I said, if you watch our first show, we said that. You know, just go back. Watch the tape.
We go back.
That was our pregame. That was our pre-show. Well, I might go watch it myself just to nigga it down. You know what I'm saying? But last but not least, we're gonna talk about MVP, the MVP race. Now I've been listening to ESPN radio, and they got Alden Smith. I don't think he got any sacks last week, but he's at 19 and a half, so he's 3 sacks away from breaking straight hand.
He can do it.
And he can do it, especially against Arizona, where they play this week. And you got J.J. Swat, who has 20 sacks? Because I think he had half a sack last year. He has 20 sacks.
No, he actually got a sack last
yeah,
year.
that's what I'm saying. He had 19. Both of them
19.
He got half a sack last year, so he has 20.
Okay.
So he needs 2 sacks, so it depends on who you play. So a lot of people have been saying, does a defensive player deserve the MVP? He says no. I mean, he says yeah. I say nay. Because the quarterback touched the ball more. They have more explosive plays. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're having good years. But still, my MVP will go to either Peyton Manning or Adrian Peterson. Personally, I think they should I think they should split.
I do.
I think they should, because it's kind of hard. It's just like apples and oranges. Because if they pick Peyton, oh, it's a white boy. When Peyton got 4 of them. You know what I'm saying? Already. He got 4 already. You know what I'm saying? So give it to Peterson. Peterson came back a lot. Peterson gets a lot of people swing at his knees. He came from a horrific injury.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I would give it to Peterson. Go ahead and make it out.
You know what? Being that I'm a defensive
guru guy.
I don't want to say guru, but I love playing defense.
Yeah.
I love defense. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because defense is where your mettle is tested, where your mental fortitude has to be at peak performance if you're going to be able to succeed. Right. Defense, you know how hard it is getting to the quarterback? Yeah. This is like this.
Especially with the rules now.
Yeah, especially with the rules now. Just imagine this. You're the best guy on your defensive line. Okay? That 5 is 5-on-1. Yeah. Technically, you really have to beat 5 guys to get to 1 guy. Right. And you know how hard it is?
They're not playing fair.
No, you know that. You know that. You know what I'm saying? You get a pot shot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's slow you down. Yeah, all types of different things. So I think you should give it to either J.J. Watt or Alden Smith because
even Doomerville.
You know what I'm saying? Just because, look at, Doomerville, he high. He ain't that tall. He's not that tall. You know what I'm saying? But he plays like a big guy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I think that's why I think MVP should go to a defensive player. You know what I'm saying? Now, I will say this. I do think this year, Adrian Peterson should win the MVP. Because, let's be honest, somebody said at one of the flagship station said it best. That's all they have.
Yeah. And if you take him off of that team,
right?
Yeah.
I watched the game against the Texans, and I called that game.
Yes, you did.
I watched the game against the Texans, and yeah, he only got 85 yards, but it was a hard 85. Right. You know what I'm saying?
That's what he gives you.
Yeah, he was breaking off 20-yard runs. Right. You know what I'm saying? And I just love the way that offensive line sealed those gaps. Man, and you look at the type of runner Adrian is, man. Guys like that come around once every 20 years. Yeah. Once every 20, 25 years, man. There would never be another guy like him coming into the league, unfortunately. Right. He goes in the same vein with Eric Dickerson.
Yeah, Eric Dickerson,
Marcus Allen,
Walter Payton, Jim Brown.
Yeah.
You got to put him in there.
So,
Marshall Faulk.
Well, not so much.
Well, Marshall Faulk didn't run hard. He was more of the Roger Craig.
Yeah. So, I got you. Those hard line runners. When in a time where it's a quote unquote passing league, and me personally, I think it's a bunch of BS because it's not a passing league. It's a league where whatever you have, you got to work with the best. If I was an offensive head coach, my first level would be running the ball.
Yeah.
Because you think about it, you run the ball and you play hard line, hard nose defense like Denver does, it's gonna be hard to beat.
49ers.
Yeah, and like 49ers, you're gonna be hard to beat because just think about it. I'm gonna tell you, in that 40, go to that 49er game. You know how to give game balls out. That whole defense should have got game balls because nobody expected them to go into Foxborough and do what they did. Especially even Colin Kaepernick. Nobody expected him to do what he did. You know, because that's the core. Oh, that's the Patriots. Yeah. Just like when we played them in the dome, and we bust that ass. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, Belichick pulled this starter, man, for 5 minutes, 5 minutes left in the game. He knew he was beat. Yeah. There's nothing more for a defensive coordinator on a team like that. There's nothing more gratifying. It's better than sex almost. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? When you can impose your will on a team and they fold like a lawn chair. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I think Adrian Peterson should win it, but I do really think that they should start considering defensive guys for MVP.
Especially if they're going for records.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's not their fault they don't get the ball all the time. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's not their fault, but they make plays.
It's an argument. It's, like I said, either way, it can turn the tide of the game. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Either way. But like I said, I personally think Adrian Peterson should win it, but I think that Alden Smith and J.J. Watt should be second and third. I mean, you got to put Peyton, and Peyton's going to get his votes. Brady's going to get his votes or whatever. But I do like J.J. Watt, and I like Alden Smith.
Yeah,
so,
man. I mean,
you know what I'm saying? You know, and they on good defense.
Right, they're great defense. And the thing is, they're not taking away from the team. It's not about them. Right. It's a team system. Right. You know what I'm saying? I look at J.J. Watt. I'm not the best judge of character, but J.J. Watt seems like he's a good guy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Just like Alden Smith. Seems like he's a real good guy. Right. And he was a steal in the draft. Yeah. He went like, what, 3rd or 4th round or something like that? He went late. You know
whoever got him, they knew what they was doing.
No.
Yeah, he was, that's his second year.
Hardball drafting. Just like Colin Kaepernick. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, but I do think they still need to start considering defensive guys for MVP. You know?
Yeah, like I said, we'll see what happens. If they do break the record, then there should be some consideration.
Or instead of just doing overall MVP, just do an offensive MVP and a defensive MVP.
Which is what they do. You know, defensive player, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. Right. You know, offensive player gets 2 awards because they get the MVP and somebody else will get the offensive player.
See, no, I don't know how it go because there's a lot of times Aaron Rodgers won the MVP, but Drew Brees got the Player of the Year.
Offensive Player of the Year.
Offensive Player of the Year.
He did that last year, matter of fact.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
all right, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, this is obviously our last show of the year. Yeah. You know, today is 27. So next week, we want to wish everybody Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
And be safe out there.
Please be safe.
Be safe. And like I said, this is our last show of the year. You'll see us next week. We'll talk about our records, overall records for the whole year, playoff matchups.
Yeah. Are we doing the 70s thing with the whoever has the best record?
Okay, yeah, might as well do it for the last week. Yeah.
Whoever has the best record, we're gonna tally it up. Our first show of the playoff show. Whoever has the best record, the loser has to wear the 70s get up.
Wait, so whoever? You mean out of the week or for the whole season?
For the whole season.
Okay, all right. So you tell them weeks 1 through 17.
Yeah.
And whoever has the best record.
Yeah.
Whoever has the worst record has to wear the 70s.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a deal. Shit. Anyway, that's our show. Love y'all. Y'all take care. Peace.
We just gotta do what we do. We play like we play. We be us. We be special. We smell greatness. We finish strong. From the top. 1, 2, 3, 4,